Yeah, as I mentioned, this week's Weekend Watch is called Live Transcribing Ichikanito, I Miss You, Modern Neo Soul Guitar. And this is by Levi Clay. And what it's basically doing is taking Ichikanito's Instagram clip, YouTube clip, and transcribing it into tabs. And if you don't know who Ichikanito is, we talked about him some weeks ago on the show. And he's one of the new Ibanez artists, and he's the first Japanese Ibanez artist ever, which is actually a bit weird because the company is based in Japan. But yeah, he's this. How on earth would you describe his music style besides modern neo soul guitar?
Yeah, I mean,
Levi does.
Actually, Levi's got that pretty spot on, modern neo soul.
Yeah.
I'd probably, if someone asked me who is Ichikanito, I'd say he's an Instagram guitarist and he plays modern neo soul. And, when you say someone's an Instagram guitarist, it puts an impression in people's heads that he's creating short pieces, which are technically impossible for normal people like you or I to probably ever be able to play. Oh, well, maybe you could because you can do lead stuff a bit. But for me, this is the kind of music I could never, in a million years, dream of emulating myself.
Yeah. But basically, first of all, hats off to Levi for being able to transcribe this kind of stuff. Well, I mean, he does it for a living, so it makes sense that he's able to do that.
Yeah, and he's good at his job. He's an excellent transcriber.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to follow. But the other side of this particular transcription is the fact that he, was it the first bar of the song? So that he could immediately tell, okay, this video has been mimed. So Ichika isn't actually playing this piece live on the video, and that it's been kind of pieced together edited together, and he's just miming on top of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's fascinating watching Levi work on this piece, and within the first few seconds, he realizes straight away, he hears an open string and realizes that Ichikanito is not playing in standard tuning. He's down a half semitone. So he's in E flat standard tuning, which is something that, I would have noticed at some point if I was trying to learn this, but it would have taken me a lot longer. And then within a bar or two, like you said, he's noticed that the music that you're hearing is not what Ichika is playing on the screen there as well, because you can see that he's on the 15th fret with his first finger, if I remember, and he plays two notes and his finger stays on the 15th fret, but you can quite clearly hear in the music that he plays once on the 15th and then once on the 14th fret. So within a bar or two of this, Levi has proven that this video by Ichikanito is not a live performance and is indeed mimed.
Yes. Which brings us to the question, is miming your playing cheating?
And it's a good question. And the answer is, what do you think?
Your answer was avoiding the question, or avoiding the answer, I guess. But
hey, I've been following a lot of the UK political situation recently, and when you listen to politicians, you realize that not answering questions is a way to get ahead in life. So that's what I'm doing there.
So it seems.
Yeah, this is a wide-ranging question, and I feel like in general, I have no problem with it under most circumstances. Ichikanito doesn't preface any of his videos with, this is a live performance of my piece, I Miss You. It's just his video. Every time you watch a band video on MTV, I think pretty much even when you see bands doing playthroughs on YouTube, that's probably never a live recording that you're seeing. It's probably always pre-recorded. That's just my assumption.
Yeah. And I mean, with the pressure that comes with being an Instagram guitar star, something that Mateusz Asaro, for example, kind of talked about when he actually deleted his Instagram account at some point. There's so much pressure being perfect. I kind of can understand that.
Yeah, and
it's also
Levi
annoying
says that...
Yeah.
Continue?
And it annoys me that the fact that it's kind of the pressure comes from us, the viewers of those videos, because we expect them to play perfectly every single time. And if there's mistakes in there, we complain, we comment, we leave dislikes and stuff like that, which is stupid, but that's what we do.
Yeah, and it can be a very contentious issue. And I think Levi goes on to say in this video that he believes that this piece was recorded bit by bit by bit, you know? So expecting a Chicanito to do a one-take performance of the whole piece is, you know, that's something that's probably not going to be able to happen. And it is a very complex piece and very difficult for the average guitarist to learn. As I've said, I would probably never be able to learn this. And the question is that wrong? Is that misleading his viewers? Is anyone watching a Chicanito for live performances, or are they just there to hear the music and to then think about how it was created and just enjoy his, you know, his artistic integrity? Or does he lose his artistic integrity by miming these performances? That's the deeper question. I don't think he does, because he never claims that it's not mimed.
Yeah. That's the thing, like that, and also he actually does play live as well. And I think in those situations, unless he's using like backing tracks, which I hope he's not, like if you can't do that live, then I don't care if his Instagram videos are like put together piece by piece.
Really? Does he do live stuff? I've never seen any. I'm going to have to watch some of that.
There's a video, like at least one video on his YouTube channel. Like ever since we did the Ibanez signature guitar show some time ago already, I've been following him. But he's an interesting follow. Like there's a very kind of artistic side to the whole thing he's doing. Like the thing that the particular show was him playing the guitar, and then he had like somebody do like a dance performance to his music, which was really cool actually and different. So it's nice.
Yeah.
And
now,
as someone who has also,
if his live stuff was mimed, I would have more of an issue with that if I was paying to go see him, because you know this is a discussion that has taken place, and there are bands who mime these days, and lots of respected rock and roll bands, they use backing tracks when playing live, and that is a slightly different question, but in a sense they are miming, you know. That's something I agree with less, but I don't think it applies to the case of this specific song.
Yep, that is very true. And I had a point that I completely forgot just now. Oh yeah, as someone who has also mimed a bunch of their videos, like when I do the kind of music videos for my songs, most of the stuff, like all the rhythm tracks, for example, are mimed because I can play them
because
just fine.
You pre-recorded it.
Yeah. Then there's a lot of solos that are not mimed, because the way I do guitar solos and a lot of my tracks is like I have the general kind of guidelines where I'm supposed to go, but pretty much every single take ends up being slightly different. Like there's a bend here, a thing there that I do differently every single time. So those I do usually record live. But otherwise, just to save time. I don't think anyone cares if I play like a simple rock riff, whether I mime it or I absolutely need to nail it on that spot.
Yeah, and that's the case where this is a bit different with a Chicanito, because as you mentioned, with these Instagram guitar players, there is a huge amount of pressure on them to be technical perfection.
Yep.
You know, and they're such short, memorable pieces of music that were he to play it a second time live and to play a couple of notes wrong or differently, people would pick up on that. This is not like improvised 12-bar blues pentatonic soloing, is it? This is totally different.
Not.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. And yeah, what do you guys think? Let us know on the YouTube comments, like, is it cheating? Is not, are you okay with it in some situations and in some you would prefer it to be alive? Let us know. We would love to hear, and maybe we can continue this discussion in the next episode.
Yeah, I think we could speak about this in a bit more detail. But yeah, just to say one more thing about this specific video, it's recommended by CatPick Fridays as the weekend watch. And I do find it a fascinating video just to watch Levi's process, how he listens to the piece, how he works out what's being played. And I learned a little bit about music theory while watching this video, and a little bit about how this piece was put together. And that was a fascinating watch. It was really good to kind of hear from Levi how his brain works as he's doing this. And as he's mentioned many times on his channel, transcription is a great way to improve your guitar playing and your compositional skills and also your theory, because you learn stuff by doing that, by breaking things down, by working out, where fingers are going and what's going on. And it's a very difficult skill, and I think Levi has honed it over decades of doing it, and he's, he excels at it. But it's something that we could all do at time to time to improve our own guitar playing. So watch the video.
Like that's how I actually learned guitar. Like when I was learning guitar, I guess I could say we were learning guitar. Like guitar tabs did exist, but they were absolutely awful. Like most of them were absolutely awful. And at some point I started to hear that, okay, what's wrong? The thing that's written here in the tab doesn't sound like the thing that's written, like that I'm hearing on the album. And then I started to figure out, okay, how do you actually play all of this? And that helped me to develop my ear. And I can pick up things pretty fast nowadays when I hear something. So that's how I learned. I didn't always write them in tabs, but there's been cases where I also wrote tabs of those, or I fixed the tabs where I was hearing this isn't right.
Yeah.
So highly, highly recommended.